50.
We will be hearing plenty this weekend about the presidential campaign. There have been some calls for President Biden to get out of the race after his performance in the debate more than a week ago, while a recent Supreme Court ruling against presidents unprecedented immunity, grants presidents unprecedented immunity. Joining us live to talk about the campaign, more about it, is Dave Giulio, political science professor and director of the Center for Civic Engagement at Oakland University. Professor, good morning. Always good to talk to you.
Good morning, Mike.
Is this unusual? We're, a week and a half out and still talking about this debate?
Oh, gosh, no. This is one of those that is going to last the entire election cycle. This is it was such a big moment, and it's, I think, the defining moment thus far.
And I don't know if you had a chance last night to watch. The president had an interview that was billed as going to be live, turned out to be a tape, and then played back as live last night. What do you think? Did it do any good?
I think it was arguably the Democrats' worst nightmare. And I say that because, President Biden did better than he did in the debate, but that was such a low bar that, he cleared it with ease. But at the same time, it didn't do enough, I don't think, for those who are questioning his abilities and his fitness for office. And you're seeing even Democrats now come out and say that, elected Democrats. And I don't think that interview is going to do enough to quell those concerns.
Dave, I got so many questions. I'm going to rapid fire you. Odds that you think, this is the first time it's ever happened in my life. I'm pretty sure in a lot of people's lives. What's the chance that he is either forced or does step aside?
Well, he's not going to step aside of his own volition, right? He was very clear yesterday that he is in it. I think it gets really messy if Democrats try to force him out.
Anyway, Vice President Kamala Harris would be the choice to step in or a choice to be replaced and perhaps seen as strengthening the ticket with somebody else.
Oh, I think that if it's not Joe Biden, it's Vice President Harris. There's no way that she gets skipped over.
And are we jumping the gun with 5 months and another debate to go? Do you think another debate will happen?
Boy, that's a great question. I don't think it's. Well, the president said in recent days that he's willing to do it. I guess time will tell, but maybe that's the only thing that proves that he's able to do it. But again, I think that there's going to be so much time that has gone by between the first debate and whatever comes next, that those opinions based on what happened in that debate are going to get baked in, and it's going to be hard to change minds.
All right, so we have a number of people that have been considered as candidates or potential candidates one way or another to show their face at some point in this presidential race, either as strong supporters, perhaps helping with the government somehow. Obviously, Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer, California Governor Gavin Newsom. Is there still a chance that even if the party stays with Biden, they get into the race?
Oh, gosh, no. The time for that was months, if not years ago, and they opted not to then. I think that certainly Governor Whitmer, Governor Newsom, and many others have come out and doubled down in their support of the president. So, it seems like Democrats are all in with Joe Biden right now.
All right. So then the last question on this subject is if it's Biden all the way at least to the convention, any chance you think at the convention he pulls out and makes it an open election?
Never say never in politics, as you well know. But, again, based on his comments, and I take him at his word, the only way that happens is if he does it voluntarily. Because once they get to the convention, it just becomes based on the rules that are likely to be adopted, it becomes very, very difficult.
All right, if that happens, you're coming back, because I have no clue what happens if that happens. I mean, I don't even understand the rules. All right, we're talking to Dave Dooley, political science professor and director of the Center for Civic Engagement at Oakland University. I don't know if that puts you into the constitutional law category, but, they've granted, the Supreme Court has granted presidents unprecedented immunity, and I've heard people say some wild things about what that means, and then I've heard people say, all it means is he can't do anything dumb. I mean, he can't go shooting people for the sake of shooting people, but, you can't prosecute him if innocent people die when he's maybe protecting a foreign country or something like that. Is that the take you see?
Right, I am much more toward the latter take than I am the former. I think that I think there's a lot of hyperbolic language being used, and quite frankly, I don't think it's very helpful to the debate about these issues. Right, when folks go to the extreme, right, and really take us to places that nobody knows anything about, right? I mean, we are in uncharted waters here with this kind of Supreme Court decision. But, I don't think that is something to get too worked up about just yet.
Does it help or hurt President Trump, do you think, that obviously he's been out saying some things, and now they've granted unprecedented immunity? Just the term is what people, I think, are latching onto when they look at the word Trump.
Yeah, sure. And I think that it absolutely helps him. But again, I think that, the devil's going to be in the details here, right? The courts are going to have to decide at some point what falls under those core responsibilities of the office.
Oh, there he is. You back? Oh, we've lost Dave, unfortunately. I love talking to Dave Dooley, political science professor and director of the Center for Civic Engagement at Oakland University, because I can play rapid fire and just fire questions at him, and he knows the answers to this stuff, or his answers to this stuff. It's great. Dave Dooley, thanks for your time, if you can hear me. Appreciate it. Sorry we lost you, but we'll maybe come back to this at a later time. I'm sure we will, as this election plays.